Zara has teased us with this denim trench that they can't keep in stock. The girls are buying it up. Hey loves, my name is Chia. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am so happy you're here. My channel focuses on fashion and style because we all know that those are two totally different things. Some beauty and overall fly girl lifestyle, right? So if that is your vibe, you are trying to rock with that, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you do not miss an upload. Okay. Spring is here. I mean, if you're in the New York area, like the Northeastern, it probably doesn't feel like it. We just had snow last week. It's been very chilly. Then we had a day of 60 degrees and then it went back down. So girl, I don't know what this what this weather is bringing and what it's giving, but it's giving weirdness. But the great thing about it is that we had the clocks went forward, right? We spring forward. So we have more daylight, which I'm totally in, which is an indicator of spring is coming. Spring is coming. So we're getting ready for spring and I'm super excited, really wanting to share how I prepare for spring in hopes, again, I'm always doing these things in these videos to kind of inspire and provoke some sort of styling thought into the process. Again, I'm always all about building an impactful wardrobe, intentional buying, really being intentional with your style and the cohesiveness of it all. So in doing that, there is an extra step you have to do, right? You have to think about it big picture, right? You have to wanna understand what really is your style, what it's giving, and all of the things. So I wanted to share with you my process and how I prepare for spring. Really wanted to share you what are the spring vibes, not really the trends, right? Because we don't lead with trends. I don't lead with trends. A lot of people in this community that we are building do not lead with trends. I always say trends is cool, but don't let that lead you. Don't let that be the leading factor in your approach, right? Trends are just a reference point. Trends are great to understand, right? Especially if you are a fashion girl, if you are a style girl, it is important to understand where the vibes is going, what the trends are, what we're going to see that season, right? But it should never be the leading factor. So I did not want to lead this spring preparation video with trends, but again, that will be in the second part of this, right? It'll be in the second part, it'll be in part 2, where we talk about trends, how they could be wearable, what are, some of them are essential, how can you kind of put, how does that go into your wardrobe, but then also wanting to share what the spring, what my spring buys were, right? This is kind of like a 2-part video. So this one will just all be about how I start to formulate the spring vibes, what is the vibes for the season, and then we'll go into trends and what I've actually purchased in the next video. So if that is of interest, stick around. For this spring season, so my process, I always do like a big picture theme. Now I don't want to call it theme, but really more of a big picture vibe, right? For the beginning of the season. I always kind of figure out and ask myself what it's giving. What is this season giving? What are the vibes, right? And I always have a couple of reference points. So I always go back to my initial fashion goals. So I did a video, 2023 fashion goals. So I always kind of reference that. If you have not seen it, please go and watch that video. We're still in March. So if you don't have any fashion styling goals, it's never too late. So you can go back to that video, reference that, but I always reference my overall goals, right? Because again, I have to be intentional, right? Some things will change, obviously, because the world of fashion changes. For me, my style is embedded and rooted in my mood, right? So, it'll tend to change, but for the most part, it's kind of my overall goal, right? So I always reference that. I always go back to my seasonal color, right? Because my seasonal color is embedded in what I how I want to approach that season 2, right? So I have my seasonal color. I mentioned that. If you didn't, go back to the other video, 2023 seasonal color, and that is the color lavender. We have a seasonal color, we have our fashion goals, and now it's spring. And what are the vibes, right? So I always kind of look back on some reference things that I've saved. I'm all about creating Pinterest boards, so that's a great exercise to do. Every time you see something, you pin it. I also do, every time that I'm on a social platform, I do save a lot of things. I'm always on these brands. I have a wish list. I also, you know, I'm a very heavy movie person, so I'm always referencing movies that I've seen. Any time that the styling was just me, it looked like my style, or even something that I was interested in recreating, I would literally take a picture of the screen and screenshot it. I have a bunch of photo folders on my phone, so I always kind of look back to what is inspiring me, what is moving me, and I always kind of list that, right? And for this season's vibe, after I took a look of all of that, this spring is really giving 90s it girl, right? And when we talk about 90s it girl, it's those it girls like Janet Jackson and Toni Braxton and Nia Long. Oh, I love Nia. Nia Long, Aaliyah, the 90s R&B girls, the rap girls, Winona Ryder, loved her style in the 90s. And it's all about, and it's centered in this very simplistic, feminine vibe, right? Very sexy but covered up, just that natural beauty type of vibe, right? It was, you know, it was the denim and the leather jackets and trench jackets and white t-shirts and simple tops, right? And we'll get into that, but that is really the vibe for spring for me. I think, you know, and why it's also easy for me is it's just how I dress too. And then so like some of the things in my wardrobe, and I'm looking here because that's where my wardrobe is, a lot of these things is I already have, so it's easy, right? And then it also, you know, it goes back to some of the things, you know, wardrobe essentials, right? Like a leather jacket, like that's a wardrobe essential, right? So it's really highlighting some of the things that I already have in my wardrobe, but really being intentional and really kind of narrowing down and focusing on the vibe for the season. Now, is every look going to be the same? No, but overall, right? So when the season is done and you kind of look at all the looks and things that you've gave, it still goes back to that overall big picture, and that is 90s it girl for me. I'm really excited about executing this, right? So even when we talk about big picture, right? So now we have a big picture, and that's the 90s it girl. What are some of the buckets and some of the things that I need to do to ensure that I'm giving all of these vibes, right? So I got a list. I have a list. So I have my cue card so I do not forget. So I'm going to just go through all of the buckets that I think will kind of check the box of what a 90s it girl would look like. Again, this is also a modern take on that vibe too. So keep that in mind. So the first one, I'm wearing it now, and we talk about beauty, a red lip. I am not a lipstick girl, right? You will never catch me with a bunch of colors on my lips. I tend to keep it very neutral, nude lip gloss. I am a gloss girl, or just like a nude lipstick with a MAC chestnut brown lip liner, and that's it. You rarely see me, but I'm loving the red lip. If I do wear lipstick, it is typically a red color. I am a MAC Ruby Woo girl. Been wearing that red for years, but I just recently picked up on this Fenty red. I mean, you know, your girl was at the Super Bowl giving all of the red vibes, the red lip, and I was like, whoa, that is amazing. So Fenty on the lip, really love that. I think it's sexy, it's feminine. I think based on how you do the rest of your makeup, it can go from day to night, because when you really think about red, it's really one of a red lip. It's like, wow, look at me type of look, but it doesn't have to be, right? So when we talk about 90s it girl, though in the 90s they did more of a dark lip, I think the red also kind of gives that sexiness, and it gives the sexy vibes, it gives a feminine vibe. So all of the vibes that a 90s it girl would have executed, and I'm totally into it. Tell me what you think. Are you a red girl? Are you a red lip girl? Let me know. But yes, loving this. So the red lip. The next one is a Moto Jacket. So I've always said Moto Jackets are essential. You can wear them, you know, you can dress them up, you can dress them down. It's just one of those outerwear pieces that I think everyone should have. Even if you're not a moto girl, I think there's some variations of a motorcycle jacket that can just be paired up nicely for your style. And the way the brands are recreating these moto jackets is insane. So you can definitely find a moto jacket that is, you know, your style, but really highlighting the moto jacket right now. First of all, I'm a motorcycle jacket girl, so I have a bunch of options, but really looking into different moto jackets, right? Different leather treatments. I'm pulling up some references, but really looking into the elevation of the motorcycle jacket, right? And then going back to, you know, the quintessential functional motorcycle jacket, and that is the stiff leather. And I love that because that stiff leather creates this, you know, this structured look to this motorcycle jacket. And though it's kind of stiff, it's still very cool. If you think about Aaliyah and how she used to rock her motorcycle jackets, right? I recently just brought back out the Vanson Moto Jackets. I used to wear these jackets in college and high school and absolutely adore it. Every time I go out, I want to wear the Vanson jacket. It's a conversation piece. I'm always getting, you know, oh my God, that's such a cool jacket, right? So when you think of 90s it girl, they were sexy, they were beautiful, but they were also cool, right? The Moto Jackets was a no-brainer for me, and really highlighting a Moto Jacket for this season. The next thing is, I'm gonna stay within the outerwear category, and that is a trench jacket. So not your conventional Burberry trench. I'm talking about textured trenches, like a leather trench. We're seeing them everywhere. So that is a trend. So that is a spring trend, is these long leather trenches, but I'm absolutely loving them. I'm highlighting. I recently purchased two from Coach, a suede one and a leather one, and absolutely love it. So when we think about 90s it girl, we're thinking very simple dressing and then a beautiful leather jacket. I'm popping up some pictures, but this navy blue one from Coach is amazing with the silver hardware that gives it that cool factor. It has some elements on this jacket that remind you more of a moto feel, but absolutely love it. Even this suede one, this brown suede, I cannot wait to rock this for spring. The great thing is they're lightweight, so even when it's around 60 degrees, it's still very comfortable. And that's what I love about spring too, right? Spring is kind of like fall, where you can wear all the things and still be comfortable, right? And absolutely loving it. So loving the trend. I am not a trend, excuse me, the trench. Loving the trench. I am looking for a denim a denim trench. So Zara has teased us with this denim trench that they can't keep in stock. The girls are buying it up every time it restocks, and it's hella annoying because I cannot get my hand on this denim trench, but it's super annoying. So again, guys, send me the link if you see it. If you see this trench come back up, let your girl know, because I am looking for it. So when we talk about trenches, think of more of texture, because that's what I'm going for, right? Not your normal trench, but more of your elevated trench, which I think is a great modern take on this whole 90s it girl off-duty model type of look, right? And that's the vibe. That's the spring vibe. And then, you know, we're talking about denim trench, but we're also talking about denim. Everything denim. Denim, 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 denim. So this is another trend, but it fits so well in the spring vibes that I'm trying to execute, right? And also when we talk about my fashion goals, right? I've been talking about, you know, how do I elevate my denim, right? So really focusing on getting those key, very cool denim pieces, and that's how you modernize that whole 90s it girl vibe and look, right? In the 90s, they were all about denim. And the great thing with spring too, denim is synonymous with spring, right? Spring and summer. You always tend to see everything denim in the warmer months, right? Because it's cool, it's breathable, it's comfortable. We all love denim. I mean, denim is an all year thing, but you really see denim come out during the warmer season. So I'm very excited to explore all things denim. Denim bag, denim shoes, denim shirts, denim jackets, like a full-on monochrome denim look. This is totally 90s. So again, when we talk about, you know, ensuring that, you know, you're being intentional, denim is the way to go to kind of execute this whole 90s it girl vibe. The next thing, I mean, when you get to spring, you know, people tend to start, you know, wearing sandals and things like that. Not for me. This spring, I'm still trying to wear my boots. I am not putting my boots away. See, the thing with me too, I love a boot with a short. I love a boot with the mini skirt. Like I love boots. I love booties. So I keep my boots in heavy rotation all year long. And for this spring, there's no change in that, no different. I am doing all of the over the knee boots. I know. I love an over the knee boot. I think they're gonna look great with like mini skirts and a denim jacket. With denim shorts. Like, just think about it. Over the knee boots, some denim shorts, and like a Moto jacket. Like, come on, it's a no-brainer. No-brainer. Now, when it gets up to 90, 80, 90, am I going to wear over-the-knee boots? No. But we're talking about spring, right? Because it's warm weather, right? And at the end of the day, sometimes it gets a little chilly. So over-the-knee boots are so bomb. I just purchased some Stella McCartney boots, which you'll see me popping up. So I absolutely love them. I have some Coperni boots that I absolutely adore, and they're over the knee, but I'm seeing it styled with the mini skirts, which is definitely a 90s vibe, and I think they're gonna be great. I love them. I'm not gonna go nuts. I'm not buying any more because I already have some in my wardrobe, so I just purchased 2 additional ones, and I'm very excited and very happy about the over the knee boot execution for this season. And then also thinking about some fun knits that could help bring home this 90s vibe. Oversized knits, cool shapes. I'm putting up some pictures. I don't want to give up all of the spring roundup, but just think about some cool knits, which is quintessential with spring, right? Once spring comes, you got your cardigans and things like that. So really doing the preppy vibe, which is also more, you know, it's also like a 90s vibe too. So all all of this is making sense. Again, the mini skirts, I know for spring and the trend is maxi skirts, but I'm still keeping with the mini skirts. I love a mini skirt. I work out my legs a lot, so I love showing off my legs, child. So the mini skirts is gonna be my thing. It is going to be my thing. But also it goes back to this whole 90s it girl look, right? Last but not least, just simple tops. You know, when we talk about that 90s look, it's really bringing back halter tops and tube tops and tank tops and just really simple basic tops, and pairing it with your elevated denim, pairing it with your motorcycle jackets and your trench jackets, right? You don't really need to go over the top in your tops, especially if I'm gonna highlight, you know, a motorcycle jacket, a trench, some denim. You can really go pretty basic with the tops, right? So I'm really excited about that. I know some brands are charging $700 for a tank top. That's not my vibe. I'm going to Target, Amazon, Amazon for my tank tops, Zara. So it's very important to kind of look into. So that is going to be the vibes for this before this spring. And then last but not least, which is not really it's not really anything clothes related, but you know, I think style is overall, it's everything, right? It's hair, it's beauty, it's your whole aura, right? So your skin, right? Just making sure that the skin is helping with all of the vibes, right? My go-to is always a glow, right? So ensuring that the skin regimen is tight. I got a couple of products that I'll share, but a couple of products to help with that glow and just making sure that, you know, you're getting into that 90s beauty, right? So I don't have to put a ton of makeup on, right? So it's really getting your skin ready for you just to bask in its beautifulness. And, you know, making sure that you have all of the products to kind of really care for your skin. So that's really it, right? Those are the buckets that I am highlighting and really focusing on to ensure that I can execute my whole spring vibes, which is this 90s it girl, right? And I'm excited about it, right? Because I always like to get into my 90s bag. I'm a 90s girl, right? From music to movies to everything, and all of these things inspire me. So I'm really happy to kind of just execute them for the spring. So I hope this video helped. It was nice and short and simple, but very impactful. Again, part 2 will be next week, where we talk about the trends, and then we talk about and I kind of gather and show all of the things that, you know, I've been purchasing or that I've purchased, excuse me, for the spring season. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this video inspires you to kind of provoke a process or some sort of thought in how you approach the spring season. Again, if my vibe is your vibe, let's vibe out together, right? Let's execute this 90s it girl vibe, and let's kind of just rock out, right? Again, thank you guys for tuning in, right? And let me know what your spring vibes are. I would love to kind of get into the comments and all of that. I love to hear some of you guys' what you're into, right? And how you're preparing for spring. And let me know if there's other spring content that you guys want me to incorporate in part 2. Right? Or even maybe we could even do a part 3 too. So kind of let me know. It'll be a preparing, you know, for a spring type of series. And that's it, guys. All right. So have a great day. Have a great week. And I'll speak to you guys next week. And I'll see you guys on the internet. All right. Keep it safe. Keep it cute. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Mwah. Okay. Bye, guys.